Thank you so much, Andrea, and thanks to everyone for joining our workshop today. We hope you will continue with us on our exploration of the BGC Argo knowledge to action space for the next 5 weeks. I'm Lisa Clough, and I am the Ocean Section Head at the U.S. National Science Foundation, or NSF. I want to thank all the G7 Future of the Seas and Oceans Initiative members, and especially thank Allison Reed, David Legler, and Laura Lorenzoni for their continuing efforts on the G7, this workshop, Argo, and BGC Argo over the years. I also want to take a moment to acknowledge the amazing efforts of Doctors Andrea Fossbender, Ken Johnson, and Oscar Schofield. This fabulous trio, supported by No Innovation, or KI for short, and joined along the way by Dr. Stacy Aguilera Peterson, Ms. Clea Harrelson, plus Doctors Katie Hill and Maria Hood, have put together a great G7 event. We need to give the fabulous trio the credit, though, for bringing the vision of this workshop to fruition. At NSF, we often use the word transformative, but we are stingy with identifying actual projects and programs as transformative. Perhaps we are all tied to Thomas Kuhn's paradigm of scientific revolution and want to save those episodic game changers for the truly transformative. By all measures, the use of Argo floats to understand our oceans is one of those truly transformative events. I believe the BGC Argo piece will follow in its parents' transformative footprints. The science enabled is without parallel. We understand the ocean in ways we never have before. And there couldn't be a greater sense of urgency about continuing to improve our understanding of how the ocean stores and moves heat, salt, and carbon. That basic knowledge piece has primacy, but I do want to call out 2 other components of these efforts that have been game changers as well. The first is evident on the call today. The efforts of the entire global oceanographic community on Argo and now BGC Argo have been amazing. More than 45 governments worldwide participate directly in the Argo fleet. And more countries than that have been very thoughtful in their treatment of robotic floats within the waters of their exclusive economic zones. Truly a transformative response to an all hands on deck call to the global community. The second piece builds on the above. Each and every human on the planet with an internet connection can, if they choose, access the Argo and now the BGC Argo data. We in the federal system are very committed to supporting open science, and the Argo and BGC Argo commitment to making the data available to everyone in as near real time as possible is a crown jewel of open science. I would argue open science represents a big step towards the democratization of science and brings us into a welcoming space to advance our shared goals of justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion. Before I finish, I do want to acknowledge that the last year and a half been very challenging for humanity. I would like to take a moment to honor all who we have lost. The field of oceanography has been impacted in many ways. For example, the world's ocean-going vessels rightly took a pause to figure out how to put the safety and well-being of ship crews and scientists front and center. And they deserve credit for the safe return to operations as soon as practicable, because of course we must have ships to do many things, including launching our growing BGC Argo fleet. Let's take a moment to also marvel that the Argo and BGC Argo floats that we had in the water kept sending their data throughout the COVID crisis, and that the scientists behind the scenes kept posting that data, and that the scientists who provide the world with critical information to knowledge pieces for forecasting and predictions were able to take those next steps because of the BGC Argo commitment to open data, a high point during this very challenging time. And now the main event. We are so excited to spend time thinking as an international community about our next BGC Argo knowledge to action steps with truly transformative potential. I would like to turn things over to Dr. Toshio Suga from the Japan Agency for Marine, Earth Science and Technology to get the real workshop started. Dr. Suga, the floor is yours.